Right, welcome back to Whizbit's Random Gaming, guys. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and you'll see as and when I'm uploading videos. Today we're going to be revisiting a Sega classic in Golden Axe. I always pick the Barbarian. I think it must be some sort of machismo thing. RIP to Razor Ramon, King of Machismo. As much as I absolutely love this game, I must say I've played for it an absolute ton of times. It is, it hasn't aged as well as I thought it might have. It's quite primitive and it is quite short, but really for the nostalgia based reasons, I will always love this game. It brings back some absolutely great memories of my early teens, and it's great. It's pick up and play, you know. It's not complicated. It's exactly what you want an arcade game to have been at the time. Chuck your 10p in, your 20 pence, whatever it was at the time. Who remembers the transition from 10 pence to 20 pence? God, that was a traumatic time for us school kids. And yeah, you just crack on, you know, you jump, you hit, and you try and progress. And you try not to spend all of your lunch money so you can at least buy a pack of Space Raiders to get you through the rest of the school day. Well, at least that's what I used to do. Sega went on to do some other stuff with the Golden Axe franchise. They done 2 sequels, I believe, on the Mega Drive. I believe there's a port on the PC Engine, and I've never actually played it. I've only seen the videos online, and it's shocking. It's really bad. I might have to actually have a look and see if one of my emulation devices has actually got that on there, just for shits and giggles, you know, just to laugh at it. It looks really bad. They went on to make a couple of sequels, I believe, on the Mega Drive. I've not really played either of them to any great extent. And then we've got, obviously, the sequel, the Death Adder one, that was the arcade-based one. Never had a home port. It's a brilliant game. Well, I'm not going to say it's difficult to obtain, because it's not. But officially, as far as I know, I think the only device you can get it on is the mini Sega arcade cabinet. Is it the Astro? Which I do have on my want list on Amazon and the CEX. It's just finding a place for it at the moment. I'm going through a little bit of a restructure right now with my collection, so got to try and free up some space, buy some more practical furniture, and then I think the Astro might arrive, and the Tatio one as well, or Tato one, however you pronounce it. Anyway, back to the Golden Axe franchise. They've released a one-on-one fighting game as well, which was just average. I've played it, and it's not a bad game, but it's just there was so much better out there at the time, you know. Now I do like these dragons, and I'm probably going to use. Look, I've just trying to get the dragon. You get greedy. Let's see, and then it just runs off. It abandons me. At least Yoshi has got the common sense that if he runs off, he runs back. But yeah, Golden Axe has been sort of dormant for the last how many years, you know, dormant. We had Beast Rider on the 360. Again, a game I've never played, and one actually, if I do see it out, I'm actually going to pick it up. It didn't get good reviews. It was very average for the time, apparently. And also, from what I've seen, and obviously I've not played it, but from what I've seen, it suffered from that period of time's graphical style. It was very dull. And there was a lot of games that come out between that period of time with the 360 and the PS3 that looked just very generically dull, dark colours, and yeah, that was just a product of its time. But if I see it for the right price, I definitely will pick that up and add it to the collection. Definitely intrigued by it. However, the good news is with this franchise, Sega have announced recently, I believe in the last month, I've done a video on it when it was announced, that they're working on some of their old IPs, which makes a lot of sense. Sega have got some great IPs that they don't seem to work on for one reason or another. And Golden Axe is one of them. Now, I'm not convinced by the very, very small footage piece that was shown, because it's not in the game perspective that I would have preferred. It does look more 3D based. I would have liked to have seen the same company that made the Streets of Rage 4 remake take on Golden Axe. To me, I think that would have been fantastic. I think they would have put the love, time and dedication into it, and they would have definitely made a game for this day and age, but yet still embedded in that classic 2D side-scrolling adventure. So yeah, fingers crossed it comes out and it's good. Sega's recent announcements, they show promise. Shinobi, which I'm very, very interested in. There's a new Streets of Rage as well. Again, not convinced by the very small piece that they showed. Crazy Taxi. And I believe there's one other one that slips my mind right now. But maybe I should stop thinking about that and actually try and beat these two punks on the screen. Jet Set Radio, that's it. A franchise that I'm not particularly that fussed about. I've not really had much to do with it. I can see the appeal, but I don't think it's necessarily a game that I would fall in love with. And these little... Ugh. Come on! And it's amazing how easy that jump is to pull off, but also it's still quite amazing that the amount of times that me and my friends died trying to pull them jumps off in the arcade. Was it the fact we was using a joystick and 2 buttons? I don't know. Or was he just young and awful at the games? But ouch. Come on, mate. There's no need for that. Again. Yeah, go on, have some of that. You really need one of these green little pixies right now, don't you? Not a blue one. I have full magic. And the White Knight. Definitely has a different term, like meaning, that phrase in this day and age, doesn't it? So what's your favourite game in the Golden Axe franchise, if you've played through more than one? And I'm sure everyone that's familiar with this type of game has played Golden Axe. If you haven't, firstly, I'm shocked. Secondly, play it today. There's a multitude, excuse me, let me grab a drink. Multitude of ways to play this game. Even the Master System game isn't bad. I've got to give a shout to the Master System. It's definitely a system that doesn't get enough love on YouTube. It really doesn't. There's plenty on here about it, but compared to other consoles and that, it doesn't get the love. Master System was actually my first console after getting rid of my Amstrad CPC 464, and I'd been playing my friends. He brought it around my house and we played R-Type and Double Dragon, and I was blown away, absolutely blown away. And then when I showed my mum it, we managed to get one. I don't think she was too impressed by the price. It wasn't massively expensive, but I think £100 in the late 80s was, oh God, can you imagine what that would be in today's money? I'm not, I don't know. It's got to be about £300 odd, isn't it? One thing I know that my mum and my dad was not blown away by were the prices of the games. Console-based games were definitely a bit of a shock to the system for the UK. We'd all been used to buying our games between the £2 and £10 range, £10 being your premium game, your arcade conversions. Once they first come out, US Gold were quite good at this. Not necessarily good at making and releasing the games, but they would pick up the coin ops and get them ported over to your 8-bit computers. Sell them at $9.99, $8.99, which was a lot of money then. If you went home with an $8.99 game, you'd either been very good or it was your birthday or something. Other than that, you were going home with $1.99, the budget range. And I'm not knocking them. I went home with some fantastic budget titles. Anyone that's played 180 on their 8-bit computer will attest to what can be done and sold at $1.99. Now, probably one of the more annoying enemies in this game is the skeletons. Directly ripped from, would it be Jason and the Argonauts? Or am I getting my movies mixed up there? I think I'm right. I remember being shown that film for the first time as a kid by my dad. It's a really long film, and I didn't have the patience to watch through the whole film, but the fighting of the skeleton scene and the Medusa scene in particular, they held my attention as a kid. I always had time to sit and watch them particular scenes. All the stuff in the middle and in between, I wasn't fussed about until I got a bit older. Right, come on. Look at that. It didn't even give me a chance to get the chicken. Instead, I end up with 4 bottles of magic that I don't need. This is definitely a relatively short arcade experience compared to a lot of other stuff out there. I mean, just have a look at some of my recent long play ones that I've done. Alien vs Predator being one of them. That's an hour's worth of video, you know. It's a very solid arcade experience. Definitely as well designed to keep you coming back and pumping them coins in. That's why they make it so long, I would imagine. But on the whole, it's a great game, and at no point does it get boring. So the hour is justified. The only criticism I would have of this is that it's probably a little bit too short in the gameplay area. And I believe one or two of the console versions even got a level dropped from their particular version. Well, that was clever, weren't it? Someone needs to learn how to train their dragon. Yeah, some of them, it might be the Master System one and possibly the PC Engine, but again, I need to look more into that PC Engine version of this. As I've said, it looks terrible, but I don't know whether or not the levels are intact. And yeah, so you can get through this game probably in about 20 minutes, give or take. Probably quicker. That sword just literally knocked me out cold. Did that even hit me? Yeah, come on. I can pick some magic up along the way. You know, speaking about the Golden Axe games, there was one for the Master System, wasn't there? It was an RPG type game which came out probably as a bit of a poor contender against the Zelda type games. And I say a poor contender. I don't like RPG games, so I've not really played it. I remember one of my friends had it, but was it Axe Warrior or Axe Battler? And it wasn't a bad RPG. You can see it's very well received in this day and age if you read about it, but I guess in comparison to maybe the Zelda games, it might not have been viewed as favourably as previous games in the genre. I might be mistaken, but I believe it goes for quite a high price in this day and age. That doesn't necessarily mean it's quality though when you see some of the retro gaming prices out there. I think even the Cyber Shinobi is quite expensive. Shout out to anyone that woke up on Christmas morning with the Cyber Shinobi as one of their gifts. Oh, I feel for you, that must have been a pretty bad Christmas. Right, so final boss here, looking hench and big, Breath Adder. Definitely takes a lot of hits, this guy. But again, you can see I'm probably about 20 odd minutes into this video and we're on the final boss. In some ways, it's like the perfect arcade experience, in and out. But yeah, it was inevitable that this was going to get home ports, what with Sega being in the position they were at the time with the Mega Drive and the Master System. So as good as the game is, you didn't get a great deal for your money in terms of content, I would imagine. But you would play through that game a ton of times. I don't think it's like today. I know, especially with my kids, they've got games all over the place. When I got a game, you used to have to judge it by the cover and the screenshots on the back, and you know, maybe the reviews from CVG and Meme Machines and games magazines like that. You took that risk and you took it home. And if you didn't like it, you still played the hell out of that game because it cost a lot of money. And you played it until that next period of time. Whether it was your birthday, whether or not it was Christmas, you carried on playing that game until you was able to get another one. Unless you could mug someone off. Oh, there you go. Have that. And try and swap it. Video game renting wasn't a huge thing. Not particularly in England compared to other countries like America. It was huge. It did get introduced here eventually, but you know, not straight away. Well, not where I was living anyway. The local Ritzes and the Blockbusters, they eventually brought it out, but it wasn't straight away. You still had to buy your games. Now, this has got to be one of the most unique and entertaining ends to any arcade game. Absolutely love this. You know, no old gubbins about you've saved the day. Peace is at hand now. No, let's just jump out of the arcade and take over the city. Right, anyway guys, that was the original Golden Axe. Was it the best one, would you say? Or would you say maybe that title is reserved for the sequel, the arcade sequel anyway, Revenge of Death Adder? That's a game I'm going to have a look into doing a long play on, so I might have a look at that tonight. Remember guys, winners don't use drugs, but people that come second or third, they're allowed to. Anyway guys, thank you for watching the video, taking time out. It really does help the channel and it's much appreciated. I do these videos for you guys as much as I do them for myself. So until the next video guys, like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.